This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site, Postmates Advanced Training. With this series of videos, I am soliciting people to consider Postmates. If you do, give my name as a person who referred you. If you're successful, I think I earn a bonus. I'm beginning to doubt that. I have kind of struggled with what I include and what I exclude from this series, and it's because I don't know who my audience is. It's become more popular than anything I've done. However, I don't know who's listening and why they're listening. So I still don't know that. It's a factor of the internet. I will never know that. However, I'm addressing three audiences for good reason. Number one, the people I solicit specifically to come to these videos. These are fellow delivery people in the cities, and the question they ask again and again is, how much will I make? How much do you make? They don't really care about how much I make. They want to know how much they'll make. So I answer that as best, full disclosure, exactly what I make, what jobs, and all my strategies. Then the second and third audiences include Postmate people who are current and active. I have conversations with multiple New York people and one Arizona person. So there's some subtleties in New York that do not exist in Arizona. For example, the scheduling. I talk quite a bit about how I have to manipulate the schedule to get the time that I want, and meanwhile the guy in Arizona says we don't have to do that. So even though he doesn't have to do that, he found it interesting enough to comment that we do it in New York. So I continue to include New York details even if they are not applicable to other places, because quite honestly I don't know what the other markets are. So with that, I share my screen. Again, the basic question is, how much do you make? And that is here. I only did 3 deliveries today. That is here in a delivery by delivery fashion. So starting here, this is my rating. This came in a weekly summary. I'm a 4.27 out of 4.6. Now, it is my understanding that I have to be at a 4.6 to get a personalized card. Now, I have accepted an application for a personalized card that's a PAX card, and I don't have it yet. So maybe it's because my score has dropped. I don't know. Yes, I'm curious. Probably not curious enough to do anything about it. So that is a tweet I did 23 hours ago last night, because I discovered the email just before bedtime. This is when this morning, 9:17, I had turned my attention to Postmates and decided I'm going to attempt to get the hours I want. I expected to be able to work at 10, and I think I must have tweeted this because I went for that hour, and it looks like I didn't get it. Doggone it. But the thing is, I think I did get it. See the 10 o'clock hour. Oh, I missed it. It was closed. I didn't get it. And this is me still at home. This is where I am now. And the live stream rape. This is a news story that I blogged about. This is George Clooney, again, a news story. Not my words, just a retweet of someone else's words. Today from GCT is Grand Central Terminal, but I don't know why I did that. Oh, this was to set up an afternoon appointment that I had. And incidentally, listeners, please, you can't understand the details of what this tweet means. It is me managing my own activities to put together work that I do that is not Postmates. And if you can imagine me trying to set this appointment today, which I did and I confirmed and I had for like 4 or 5 in the evening, and then having any job at all that could fit in the gaps of my day as I scheduled it, this appointment is far more important to me and has more potential to add financially to my life than Postmates. So to sacrifice an appointment like this for any part-time job is sort of silly. So Postmates doesn't make me do that, fortunately. This is me manipulating my schedule again, so I ended up getting the 1 o'clock hour. Now I had to do that. I had to give some time, swap some time, offer it for swap. Everything I offered for swap got picked up, and I ended up getting that hour, which I didn't use because I got delayed with my morning activities. There it is. I put it up to swap. It did get picked up. Here I am with still in New Jersey. So now it's afternoon. My morning activities got very delayed. I do this receptionist thing, and I just could not predict what would happen. This is another, if you're interested, listeners, if you're interested in being a blog reader, this was provocative writing. You would never get it by reading my post, but it ended up coming back with some very volatile language to the person I wrote it to, complaining that I don't get paid for this stupid shipping that I do. What the fuck? He's talking, keep blogging your way through life. It's absolutely hysterical to me. Only the most loyal readers could have any clue of what is happening, what the history is, and why it's funny. Listeners of this video, trust me, it's funny. It's funny to me. Here I am. These are the hours I ended up getting. I screen grabbed before I grabbed them, and there I got them. So here, listeners, especially New York area, you try to jerk around the schedule to get your hours. I try to jerk around and schedule the hours. And this is an example of, look at this, this is awesome. 1:05, that's 5 minutes after the hour, which to me is not the best time to do it. 55 minutes after the hour is better, though I went to the schedule, I saw both of these available. They happened to be the hours that I needed, and there, screen grab, 1:05, same time, I got both of them. I took some risk here, by the way, by doing a screen capture instead of just clicking. Because clicking is the safer thing to do because someone might take it from me. But in this case, I took the higher risk. I screen grabbed, and I got the hours that I wanted. Again, I'm still in New Jersey. That's what that picture is. This is this is a speaker in the upper corner of a bus that I took into New York. So I'm on my way into New York. I had done 0 deliveries. This shows that a swap was picked up. This is, again, the fellow in Arizona expressed some interest in our scheduling in New York, even though much of what we go through doesn't apply to him. What he told me on a phone call would allow me to conclude he's never seen one of these because he's never had to swap a shift. He just clicks, gets the hour, or doesn't. There's not enough competition for the hours yet in his market, in his area with cars. He drives a car. Here's my first order. So listeners, this is what I try to explain. I'm coming into the city. Here it is. That's hard to see. I wish the Twitter doesn't give the time, but here I'm trying to get the hours at 1:05. I'm still in the barrio. I'm on this bus after 1. I get into the city, bang, 2:03, I've got my first delivery. So this ended up being about a 15-minute period where I was in New York City. I was online. I was scheduled, and I got nothing for 15 minutes. And 2:03, 3 minutes after 2, I got my first one. Bubble tea. I go to pick up bubble tea. This is 1 order max. This is to make sure that the customers don't rip off Postmates by trying to add things to the order. Listeners, this is really hard to understand. Order max, 2 regular bubble teas. Well, if I've got this delivery, I'm a Postmates delivery person, I've got free bubble tea, and all of a sudden I get a call from the customer, which could come. It does happen. They have access to us. And they say, hey, can you make it 3? And if I'm dumb enough to do it, then Postmates gets stuck paying for 3 when the order was limited at 2. This is the order to this. So this person ordered his or her. I don't remember her. I met her, and she got the limit. She got 2 bubble teas. These little faces are up overhead in the bubble tea place. It's called. It's as it says back here. It's called. Free on demand tea. Well, anyways, it's called VV Bubble Tea. And it's a cool place. It's Chinese, of course. I've now since learned it's Taiwanese. And these are the faces in their logo. And that's me getting paid. Listeners, if you click on there, it says how much I get paid for bubble tea. And then I move on. I'm idle. That's why I tweeted the screen. I'm online, but I have no orders. An order would show up here if I had one. So I'm idle at 2:38 after bubble tea. I did a little Googling, and I'm going to come back to that. So it's 38 minutes after I'm idle, bang, juice press. 38 minutes to 43. I was idle for 5 minutes between my first and second order. Now back to bubble tea. This stuff is really cool. As you can see here, it's from Taiwan, originally in the 1980s. So this is the logo from inside the store. This is what the product looks like. And this is a sign of a good product. You cannot use, this is my claim, you cannot use the words bubble tea, pointing to this stuff from Taiwan, which is a fad in New York City and probably many places of the world. It's taken a couple decades to become that. You cannot use bubble tea in a sentence and be angry. So, like, if you're at this place and you come to think it's taking too long and you're pissed off and you say, "Where's my bubble tea?" Well, I think right in that statement, expression of anger is in itself funny. Where's my bubble tea? Which, of course, it's very easy to imagine a stereotypical New Yorker. It's not moving fast enough. I'm pissed off. Where's my bubble tea? With anger. Well, you can't be angry about bubble tea. Moving on, juice press, my third and final order. And oops, it went to, this is a company, not a person. Maybe there's a reason I tweeted it. I try not to tweet who I'm sending it to. But I'd like to know why I did. Anyway, so, here's why I did. Because I'm offline, juice press. But I came to realize right here, I got paid. I'm done at 4:11. But yet, at the end of the day, I got a call from Postmates, and I hadn't closed out the order. Well, listeners, I have come to understand this, especially for people who've done Postmates. If you try to go offline when you have an active order, it'll tell you you cannot do it. But yet, here's evidence that I did. I am offline with an active order. I don't know what went wrong, but I found the active order with the call from Postmates, fleet support, about an hour after I was done with it. So I can't reconcile that. Again, I'm curious. I'd love to know the answer, but not enough to do anything about it. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.